Hey, I'm Quentin, and today we're making this amazing Biscoff cheesecake that is so easy to make and beyond delicious. So let's get started. First off, we're making a biscuit crust with Biscoffs, and if you don't have some around, you can use digestive biscuits or any cookie you like. You can even use Anzac biscuits, and if you don't know how to bake them, I've got you covered. Just go and check out my recipe right there. I'm gonna use about 400 grams of these cinnamon biscuits, and I'm gonna crush them into fine crumbs with a hand grinder. You can also use a food processor or place the biscuits in a bag and crush them with a rolling pin. That's looking pretty good. Now let's prep our oven and heat it up to 180 degrees. Then we're going to melt 150 grams of unsalted butter in a saucepan over a low heat. For this recipe, I'm going to use a 9-inch springform pan. We line the baking paper inside, just in case, some nonsense tries to leak through during the baking. Then I'm going to grease it with melting butter using a small brush. I know it's a non-stick pan, but better be safe than sorry. Now we're going to drizzle the melted butter in the biscuit crumbs, and we are going to mix it until it is fully combined and the mixture looks like wet sand. If it looks too dry, just add a little bit more butter in. And in the pan it goes. Next, we are going to use a glass and move the crumbs out towards the edges. The challenge is to get it up high while still keeping enough crumbs for the bottom. You'll need to press the sides in, and if it spills over a bit, you can use your thumb as a guide to hold it down. It should take shape and look sturdier as you circle around and around and around and around. I'm gonna bake this on a baking tray, so I don't have to worry about, grabbing the cake, kind of manhandling it with my oven gloves. It will be so much easier to take it in and out of the oven. Trust me, I've been there. This is gonna go into the oven at 180 degrees for just under 10 minutes. For the filling, we're gonna need 500 grams of cream cheese at completely room temperature. If you use cold cream cheese, it's much more likely to not mix in totally for your cheesecake, and there will be big lumps of cheese in the batter. Let's give it a little whip at medium-low speed. Then I'm going to add 150 grams of sugar. You can reduce the sugar if you want, but the cheesecake is very tangy and the sugar is a nice balance. Alright, not at all done, but I'm just gonna scrape the bowl down because there's a lot of unmixed nonsense on the sides. And now it's time for 100 grams of sour cream. Or full-fat yogurt works too. Let's mix this along with 2 teaspoons of a nice vanilla extract. And now this already looks delicious. I'm going to sprinkle in 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, mix again, then add in the zest of 1 lemon. This will bring an amazing lemon flavor to the cheesecake. Now we're getting to the last component, the eggs. We are going to add the eggs and the yolks one at a time. Instantly it becomes so much silkier. It really loosens the texture up. The texture you want should be smooth, wonderful, loose and glossy. Here I overmixed a little bit, but let's not give up on it. It should go fine during the baking. Try not to overmix the filling, otherwise you'll end up with a soup instead of a creamy mixture. Let's get our prepared crust and pour our smooth as silk butter into it. This is going into the oven at 180 degrees for just 10 minutes. And then we are going to turn it down to 150 and bake for an additional 40 minutes. Once baked, let's get the cheesecake out of the oven and let it cool down for an hour. After cooling down, the cheesecake slightly retracted and there are a few gaps between the crust and the filling. We are going to fix this by taking a few teaspoons of Biscoff spread in a small bowl and we are going to melt it in the microwave. Then we are going to use the melted spread to fill in the gaps around the entire cake. It will become solid overnight in the fridge and it will then act as a binding agent. So let's fill in the gaps all around the cake. It's also adding kind of like a nice look and feel to the cake because it's completely surrounded by Biscoff spread. Then you can top the cake with berries. Raspberries, blueberries, strawberries, any berries you like, really. Everything works. As a final touch, let's add a couple of Biscoff biscuits right at the center of the cake. Doesn't it look absolutely marvelous? It surely will bring a lot of cheers in from your family and friends when they're going to see it. If you like this recipe, hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.